morning, Vietnam. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of It's Only Monday podcast. It's a podcast to put a little pep in your step. This is a podcast to make a Monday feel like a Friday. This is the podcast to get your Mondays going. What's going on? I'm your boy, JT, and welcome back to another episode. I'm so happy to have you here. Let's first thank God for another day. We get another one at bat. Thank you, God, for another day, Lord Jesus. Whew. We're going to make sure we're going to maximize it, utilize it, and go to the fullest today to show our gratitude. All right. So I hope you guys are doing good, whether you're on the bus, whether you're on the train, whether you are at home, whether you're at work, whether you're with the kids, whether you're with your coworkers, whether you're by yourself, whether you're grocery shopping, whether you're at the gym, whether you're doing whatever you're doing right now. I just want to thank you for tuning in. And today I got a word for y'all, man. I got a word for y'all. I know we're going to start today with good news, but didn't find any good news. And I'm waiting on some of you guys to start leaving some comments about some good news and wins and stuff so I can also share that. But today's word and conversation and, barbershop brother talk that we're going to have today, I think it's a good one. So let's jump right into it. I think this will help somebody out there today. And I think it might change your mindset on some things and have you have a little bit of urgency and realize how you might want to get some of the things you want out of life, whatever that is. Again, can be anything, but I think these rules or structures to live by makes a lot of sense. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to make sure I say, I'm like 99% sure it's Eric Thomas. But if you are familiar with Eric Thomas, and let me just make sure I'm saying the right person. Yes, Eric Thomas. He has this talk, a very profound talk. And you know what? Most people out there, you guys already know what it is. But again, I've realized actually there's a lot of times where there's things that you are into and that that you think is, mainstream that a lot of people don't know. So let me kind of explain it and give some background context. The video really says it all. I don't really have to do too much. And I might, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the video in here just so you guys can hear it and see it, because I think it's something that will resonate so hard, and it doesn't do it justice for me to explain it. I know I can explain it in a good way in storytelling, but I think you got to hear it from his words. So let's roll the tape.
It was a young man who, he wanted to make a lot of money, and so he went to this guru, right? And he told the guru, I want to be on the same level you on. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 a.m. He liked the beach. I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. Guru said, if you want to make money, I'll meet you tomorrow, 4 a.m. So the young man got there at 4 a.m. He all ready to rock and roll, got on the suit. He should have wore shorts. The old man grabs his hand and said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water. So he walks out into the water. Watch this. When he walks out into the water, it goes waist deep. So he like, this guy crazy. Adrian, he like, I want to make money. He got me out here swimming. I didn't ask to be a lifeguard. I want to make money. He got me in. So he said, come out a little further, walked out a little further. Then he had it right around this area, the shoulder area. So this old man crazy. He making money, but he crazy. He said, come on out a little further. Came out a little further. It was right at his mouth. My man like, I'm about to go back in here. This God is mine. So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, hold him down. My man getting scratching, holding him down. I got you. I know you brushed it out, but I got you. He had him held down. I need you for an illustration. He had him held down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. Somebody answer the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? Lee, I'm looking for a different word though than lip. What's that word? He said, I wanted to breathe. He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I don't know how many of y'all got asthma in here today, but if you ever had an asthma attack before, you short of breath, SOB, shortness of breath, you wheezing. The only thing you trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. That's it. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it.
Profound, right? Profound. So you can kind of see where I'm going today. Today is about wanting versus needing. You know, I think we live in a world where we all want certain things. We all have goals that we want to achieve, right? We all have things that we want to do in life. But it really comes down to the simple thing that want is, I'd say, somewhat frivolous. Want is frivolous because, you know, you can want a chocolate bar right now. You can want to watch an episode of Netflix. You can want to be able to take a vacation. There's so many things you can want to do right now, but it's frivolous. It's fleeting, you know, because I feel like it's based on your, I know it's mainly based on your feeling in the moment. You want to do these things based off how you're feeling, and feelings are fleeting. They change. So today you might feel like you want eat a chocolate bar, and you might be on a strict diet, but your feelings, if you let your feelings take over because of what you want to do, you're going to break your diet for it. And, you know, the next day you're going to regret it and be like, oh man, and you're not going to feel that way that you did the other day. And even if you don't get the chocolate bar and you stay disciplined, the next day you might not feel like you want a chocolate bar. So you pass through that feeling of what you wanted. But I think at that point, what's more important is what you want in that moment. Like you want a chocolate bar, the need of your goal should be so much higher than that want that it makes it irrelevant. And that's what I'm talking about today. Today I want to talk about, and I have a tool that I think could be kind of cool because we all have it and we all have access to it, but I'll get to that near the ending. And it'll be part of the homework. So the video explains itself, you know, want versus need. You know, until you need whatever it is that you're trying to go after, as much as you want to breathe, as much like to the level of utmost urgency and importance, you're not going to get it. You might get it, but I'm just saying most likely you won't get it, because want is a place where, again, it's fleeting. It's based on feelings. So if you do what you want, let's quote someone else here. Patrick Bet-David had a good quote I read this week. And he was talking about advice and how sometimes if you listen to advice from a lot of people, especially motivational stuff, there's these lines people will feed you. He said, like, people will feed you lines like, you know, if you had 30 minutes to live, what would you do? And then you say, okay, I would do this, I would do that. And he basically, the people will say like, well, that's how you should live your life. And realistically, that's horrible advice, because if you lived your life like you had 30 minutes to live, most of the things you're going to choose to do in your last 30 minutes of life is nothing to do with making your life productive when you have a long life to live. And what do I mean by that? Like, and Patrick Bet-David mentioned this, you know, if you had 30 minutes to live, and I'll repeat exactly what he said. He said, like, if I had 30 minutes left to live, I would not be recording this video right now. I would not go to work. I would, like, there's so many things that you wouldn't do. You'd probably just spend time with family, loved ones, maybe, you know, try to do something that you've never done before. Like, but if you lived every day of your life like that, you would not build out a life that is productive and purposeful and what you really need to be doing to maintain. So that's horrible advice. And it gets back to the level of like what you need, and what you really need in life is what you're going to get. You know, I've heard this so many different ways, backwards and forward. What you need is what you're going to get. And, you know, we all can complain about what we want. But when you say when you want something, to me, all I hear is just blowing in the wind. It's like it's like good complaining, right? Like, when you hear people complain, you can consider that like bad complaining, like, oh, you're just complaining. But good complaining, you might consider is talking about your dreams and your goals and what you want to do. But how can you want something? How can you want something and you keep talking about it, but then, we have like social media. And this is where I'm getting to. With social media, you can use it as a tool. And that's what I've been using as lately. I know a lot of people say you can use it as a tool to make money and sell stuff in business. I'm thinking about a totally different way. It's a tool to kind of be better than a calendar, better than your journal, better than a notebook. Because with social, you have a way to adhere to your goals publicly. And you can find people that are, I would say, like you have a gym buddy. Sometimes you don't have that. Like, as we grow older, we get busier. People's lives are busy. You don't have time to get, and when I mean a gym buddy, I don't mean actually in the gym. I mean somebody, whether it's working out, whether it's your other goals, just someone to try to hold you accountable for your goals, to keep going forward for it. Someone that's going to push you, Sometimes, that gym buddy, that person that pushes you, you can be with them a lot, but it's sometimes, that person might live, or people or group of friends are all over the place. So, and also they might not be into the things you're into, like your passions and your goals and your dreams. The people around you might not be, into those things. That's might not be their goals. They might not be that group of people that's going to push you to that level, because it's just, they're into different things. Fine. But to find that group of people, you can use social. And this is where I say use as a tool, because you can use it. And I'm going to use working out, because working out is one of the most basic things to kind of get everyone on board, because we all need to be healthy. We all need to stay in shape. We all need to, it's something we all should be working on actively. So it's a good thing to kind of use as a gauge. But you can change working out with whatever you want, whatever goal you have, career, personal life, whatever. You can flip it out. This is not just about working out. I just like to use it because it's the easiest for you to visualize. You all have probably been in the gym before and have done these type of things. So if you want to work out, right, and you don't have, maybe hardcore gym buddies or people that would like keep you, accountable in the gym, in the sense of like lifting as much as you're supposed to be lifting and stuff like that. Or maybe you don't have people around you that are, the same weight class as you, where you can, you want to lift 3 plates on chest day, but like your people around you aren't as strong as that. Well, you can have people through social that, and you see that like a lot of people post the things that they're into, that's what's great about it. So you kind of start seeing who, oh, okay, that's the gym person. That's another gym person. Cool. Now you have this collective, like online group of gym people you have that you can communicate, DM, like their stuff. Do you guys talk about it? And, it creates this sense of a small community you have of gym buddies, of that gym buddy that you can go to and your gym partner, But the other part of social media too, to keep you on the track, is when you publicly declare things, or you're doing something, not even just publicly, it's the fact that you can go back and see these things, right? Because like if you post it or whatever, your stories, they show back a year later, you can go and see, oh shoot, like this was me a year ago, and I'm still on the same track, Another thing you can do is to really check yourself. People use social media like crazy, posting nonstop, right? If you're posting pretty much every day or almost every day, or at least 3 times a week or whatever, especially in your stories, people post their stories every single day pretty much. And if you post throughout your day and you realize that what you're posting throughout your day is nothing to do with your wants. Like, I'm going to use a gym, for example. You want to be in shape, but then all your posts are everything but you ever going to the gym. It's like, how are you going to sit there and say you want something, but through your actions in your life, you're not doing it. You're not going for what you should be. And I'm saying this with love and saying to use this as a way to measure what you're doing. Because too many times we can get lost in the fact of saying we want something and this is what we want. I want to change my body. I want to have a 6-pack. I want to be jacked and deezed, or, I want to be able to sprint, the track 3 times. I want to be able to run. I want to be able to do a backflip, whatever it is you want to do. But then you say those things, but then you look and you're not doing the actions for it. So I'm saying to use social media as a tool to be able to do these things and not have and have the accountability on yourself, but you kind of have this tool and the public to keep you and your gym buddies that are like through social to keep you, on the right track and motivating you. And, when you feel a little lazy, you can go check in and see that they're doing it. It's like, all right, cool. All right. Because it's hard. And I'm using the gym again. It's a simple example, but you can flip this with anything, whatever it is that you're into. You can find that crowd online and really like build your own little community online of people that will help keep it, whether it's you personally know them, you don't, or it's from afar, you're just watching from afar and it's like, all right, that keeps me motivated. Oh crap, they're in the gym today. You know what am I doing? I should get up and go in the gym today too. So what's the summary here? Needs versus wants. If you just want something, you're not gonna, it's too fleeting. You gotta have something more than just a want, and it has to be a need. Whenever your back is against the wall and you need to do something, what usually ends up happening? It's do or die, and you usually end up doing it. If you just want something, you can put it, I like those pair of shoes. I want those. Day comes, you're like, oh, I got money, I can buy those shoes, but you know what? I'm not feeling about it today. It's whatever. Or, I want to spend this money on something else right now. Or, oh yeah, I forgot one of those shoes. Oh, I'll look at that next week. Maybe I don't need it now. And then, just process back. Like wants are just something that are just very fleeting. To me, it's just saying things. It's not important. It's fine to talk about it, but if it's something important to you and all you just want to do is you just talk about how you want to do that, but your life actions is showing that you're not putting any work towards that. And again, I say use social because social is a amazing way for us to really see, like, again, I'm not saying social is your life in the sense of like what you post, because again, what you post is what you post. You can literally post things and you have 99.9% of your life going on that no one sees, but you can post a 0.1% on social media. But what I'm trying to say is there's people that post so much on social media. So like, if you're that type of person, you can use this as a way to keep yourself, goal oriented and see, okay, cool. This day I checked in and I did my ab workout. This day I checked in, I did my leg workout. I did my chest workout. You know what I mean? And you could see yourself doing it. And it's like a visual log that you're seeing and that you can always go back to, especially if you post it and stuff. You can always go back and see the things you posted and be like, okay, yeah, I was doing that. I was doing it. It's a way to just be about it and not just say you want it, but keep it consistent. The tools we have, technology, AI, all this stuff, there's so many different tools in the way you can use these things. So we might as well use it to our disposal of what we want. Like, why not? Like, why are we going to just have these things be these things that take away our life? And that's another thing I want to talk about too, these screens. And it's cool. It's great. It's amazing. But there's a whole world out there. You can go outside and play. Where's outside anyway? Somebody get this cat off of my head. Remember, if you're old enough, you know that reference in that commercial. The world is all outside. The world's all happening. It's great to be able to connect through screens and stuff like that. But remember to live your life. I know this is like kind of off topic, but it's just something I'm just really thinking about because it's crazy to go outside and everyone's heads are just down and just staring at phones and screens. And it's just like the life is in front of you, but and I get it, everybody's on there. You can meet everyone and you can see everybody on there. You can, but there is this level of, I think we gotta, have this separation, but I digress. Another conversation, different dinner, different time. Wants versus needs. That's what I really want to talk about today. If you say you want something, cool, but you're not going to get it till you need it. And like Eric Thomas said in that, that talk he did, it's like, okay, if I need this as much as I need to breathe, and think about when you need to breathe. Imagine hold your breath right now. So actually don't. I'm not trying to get in trouble if you decide to not. You know what I mean? You're out there holding your breath and you pass out and you're like, oh, he told me to hold my breath. No, I didn't tell you nothing. No. But if you really want to succeed as much as you need to breathe, oh man, you definitely will get it. You definitely will get it. But again, it doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. It doesn't mean it's going to happen in 90 days. It doesn't mean it's going to happen in 6 months, but it's going to happen. Especially when you put that much energy, force, and everything into it. But the things that you just want, those things, you work a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, and then you got to be disciplined and go into it. But that's just what I want to talk about, the difference between wants and needs. Because again, you might catch yourself this week saying so many things that you want to do, but how long does it take before things pass by and you realize you've been talking about this for a year or 2 years? Oh, I want to get in shape. It's been 3 years. Why haven't you even done a sit-up? Again, I'm just using workouts as an example. You can put in anything else you want in there, whatever goal you have, but it's just a way to think about it. It's simple. You might already think about it like this. You might have heard Eric Thomas talk about this. You might have heard this somewhere else. But if you haven't, I'm glad I can share it with you and give you something new and another framework to kind of think of. I like to think of things in frameworks and structures because your mindset really, it just has to hit you a certain type of way. A lot of times people, will say, even here, I might say something that you've heard before a million times, but I just might be the guy that says it to you in a way that it breaks through. And I've really realized that people really need to hear things from certain people. I might not be the person that you need to hear it from. You might need to hear it from someone that looks more like you, someone that's in the same world as you, somebody that you admire and you look up to. I don't know. You might just stumbled across this video and just found me and it's like, hey, this guy, cool. Let me hear what he has to say. And I might speak to you. You might get what I'm saying. It might hit, but for others, it might not, which is fine, which is cool. Everyone has to hear it from somebody that it just clicks with them and they have to hear it in a way that it clicks with them. So I'm hoping, maybe the Eric Thomas video I just played for you, that clicked. If that didn't, me talking, maybe you're going to my other videos and you saw some other stuff and you're like, you know what, that clicked. That's all I hope to do. All I really want to do here is just to take advice I've heard, things I've learned along the way of life so far, frameworks I've learned that I think, and structures and mindsets I think work well for myself, and just share it. And, that's the thing. This is the internet. This is a podcast. This is going all over the place. If it hits one person that this helped to, switch up their mindset, really take a goal serious. That's all I wanted. That's all I really wanted. That's it. That's all I wanted. I literally come on here and talk for 20 and 30 minutes, hoping that I connect with one person to really change their mindset and just go for their goal. And, I might never ever meet you, but, if I did, I just feel like I know in my heart that there probably is somebody. Again, you could be watching this 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Look at the date on this video. It might be 20 years from now. But if this hits 20 years later and it's what helped you, I did my job. And it's not even my job. I'm just doing this for fun. I think I did my part in the world to give some knowledge, wisdom, and advice to help the next person. That's it. That's what this is. It's Monday. It's only Monday. This podcast could be called It's Only Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It doesn't matter. Monday is a day that we've turned into this thing that people dread. I want you to treat Monday like any other day. It's only Monday. It's a day you can attack, but it's another day to do what you need to do to go forward in life, to get what you want. Don't dread a Monday. Embrace it. Gary Vee has that one talk. What if this is the last Monday, your last Monday on earth? That one is a good one too. I should pop that in here too, but I'll pop it in next week so you can hear it. Or just Google it and YouTube it and check it yourself. Or hey, if you're watching this 50 or 100 years from now, I don't know if Google and YouTube is still around, but whatever search engine you use, whatever it's called, just look for Gary Vaynerchuk Monday rant. But yeah, man, it's wow. Just even thinking about that right now had me just thinking how crazy that is. Like, I could be talking to my great great grandchild right now. You might be watching me right now and saying, "Oh yeah, that's my great great grandfather." Like, crazy. What's up? How you doing? Man, how's it like in the future? Is it cool? Hey, that's good. Or not. I don't, hey, what's up, man? That's all I'm saying. It's so weird. I'm trying to talk to like a future person. I don't even. Anyways, that's not that. Here or there. If you're, if you are a descendant of mine, hey, that's like amazing, crazy, and it's just like, wow, you know. So when I'm making these, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about helping somebody 200 years from now. Because I'll say one last thing. The things, the stories, the advice, the moral of the story type things, the things in the Bible, it's all the same thing. History repeats itself. All the stories in the Bible that teach you lessons and the rules in the Bible, it all gets repeated throughout life. No matter how much technology changes and people think they've changed, let me tell you something. The things that are laid out in the Bible, the stories that are laid out, it all is repeated over and over again. And it's lessons that we must learn and things like that. So no matter if you're watching this 200 years from now, you are going through the same type of things that you can get advice from. Even what I'm talking about here, like the things I'm talking about on this podcast still applies to you. It just might not be in the same way. It might be in different fields that I have no idea that exists. But the cool thing is, like, what I'm talking about will still apply in certain ways. So that's what this podcast is really for. This podcast is for that person to find it and it flips a switch in them. And that's it. That's all I want to do with this. 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I might be going over. I'm not sure right now, but 20 minutes, 30 minutes to be able to just hopefully change someone's life by changing their mindset. Bro, that's crazy. So, moral of the story. I don't want to just change people's mindsets. I don't just want to, help somebody. I think I need to. I need to give this advice. I need to give this wisdom. I need to share the things I've learned throughout life because somebody is going to use this and it's going to help them. It's going to shape them. Any of these episodes you watch right now, if you go back or go forward to my other episodes, there's something in there for you, something. So that's what makes me do this. I need to keep making these because I need to share that information and I need to give this wisdom advice as I go along. And I will learn more throughout life. And as I learn more, I would want to share more. So why not just leave it here for you to learn? Last thing I'll say, I know I said last thing last time. What is it? A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So it's kind of like, hey, if I can give you advice where you can learn things before you even have to experience it, why not? 500 years from now, if you're watching this and that helps you, amazing. Anyways, guys, that was a good one. I really wanted to get that off my chest because I just felt like, somebody needed to hear that. And maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's 500 years from now. But whatever you're listening to this right now, I just hope that framework of want versus need helped you. Anyways, the homework I want to say for today. And again, it's crazy now. I'm thinking so much about future as well. 500 years from now, I don't know. You guys probably might still have social media in a certain type of way. Who knows? But the homework is to use, if you use social, if you're the type of person that's posting every single day on social and is posting all your life and everything out there, and you say you want to do certain things, but none of the things you're posting are applicable to helping you succeed in those things that you want to do, I want you to reevaluate and I want you to start using it as a way to keep yourself accountable to your wants and turn those wants into needs, and then track your status and your goals through social. And so I think a cool way to do it. And find your partners online of the people that are into the same things as you are. If you are looking for people that are heavy gym goers and are into the same type of thing that you are, well, find those people online. If you're too busy, you have work, you have family, you're just busy, a busy life. I get it. Okay. Well, find those people online. They can live in another country or time zone, but you still can, and connect, and say, hey, I'm trying to, want to like be my virtual gym buddy. And again, it could be for anything. You could be a graphic designer, you could be whatever, and you're trying to find other people that are into the same world as you, so you can like push each other to, make amazing things. And, maybe once a week you share your work and critique it. Who knows? These are just all I just leave this very open so you can put yourself and plug yourself into here, because I say the gym, and I'm saying all these things, but it doesn't have to be that. It's just a very basic example, because I know 500 years from now, you work out, right? Unless your body's robotic. And I don't even think we're going to get that far within 500 years, to be honest. I think technology has exponentially gone really fast. And I think we've hit like a wall. Hey, I could be wrong. But I don't think we've really changed that much. From medieval days till now, like we've changed, but realistically, it's just we have nicer stuff. That's what somebody said one time. We still have the same issues, same problems. There's still war, there's still famine, there's still all these things happening in the world. What really has changed? Some of us have nicer stuff, when majority of the world has, can flip a switch instead of lighting a candle. Whatever. Anyways, I don't want to get into all that, guys. Thank God for another day. Happy to be here. It's only Monday. Remember that. If you want something really bad, really, really bad, that want needs to turn into a need. And I am your boy, JT. To my descendants 500 years from now. What's good? Crazy, eh? Anyways, that's it for today's episode. It's only Monday, guys. That's it. It's just another day. So tackle it. Win the day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.